Yo, what up, peoples? Welcome back to another episode of Burning Through the Beats. I'm your host, Burnt Bacharach. Back with another sample this week. My good buddy Benny stopped by this weekend, and we came across this sample and thought it was cool right from the get-go. It's got some piano licks that caught me, and I just knew it was going to make something cool. So let me show you what we started with. So that's the sample, and let's start. Let me show you the first pattern that I came up with. First, we got to put it in tempo. I know the tempo was 87.5, so we're just going to start there. So that's cool. I really like that. So we're going to name that track Sample. And we're going to go to a new track. And I got a blank program, and we're going to load up some kick, snare, and hi-hat. I like that hi-hat and that snare. So kick, snare, hi-hat. And let's just start putting in parts. So let's put the snare in first. That track drums. So that's cool. I like that. So I'm going to copy this part over to on top of sequence 2, and we're just going to go back to that first part and rename it intro. Then we're going to go to the second one, and we're going to name it part 1. We're going to copy that sequence over to a new sequence, naming that part 2. And then on the new sequence, we are going to record over the sample track. I got another part that my buddy came up with. So there's all of our parts. One thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to go back and copy the first sequence, the number of bars, so that now it's an 8-bar part. I meant to do that. I don't know what I did. Let's do this one more time. And now it's an 8-bar part, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of the kick and the snare, or the hi-hat and the snare on the 4th beat of the 8th bar. So we're just going to take it to the 8th bar, play it, and then record over. So we did that. We're going to do that to each part. Let's see what I did before. Let me fix this. All right. So we're going to go to every part and do the same exact thing. Get rid of the hi-hat and the snare on the 4th beat of the 8th bar. Go to the last part. Take it up to the 8th bar, 4th bar. Oops. This one needs to be the number of bars to be lengthen to 8. We're still going to do the same thing. So we got 3 8-bore parts, and we're going to go back to this first part, and we're just going to clear the sample off of it. So now it's only drums. And we are going to get rid of the drums on the 4th beat of the 4th bar. All right, so we got all of our parts. An extra part down here we're going to get rid of that I accidentally copied before. And I just want to make it sound a little bit better. So the sample wasn't really fat sounding. So normally what I like to do there, if I feel the bass is salvageable, is try the MPC 60 setting. And it fattens things up a little bit. So I'm going to play it without, and then I'm going to put it on. That's without, here's with. It just fattens it up a little bit. And one other thing I'm going to do is go across this drum program, and on the snare track, we are going to apply the input of the mother ducker. Set to 1. It automatically defaults there, and we're going to do the same thing with the hi-hat so that it's making more room in the sample for the hi-hat and the snare. So we've got the mother ducker applied, the input applied there, and we're going to go across the program of the sample, and we're going to put the mother ducker itself. And we're going to turn auto off. And I like to set the release for the kicks and the snares and the hi-hats somewhere around 20. So we'll take that there, 20 or 30. I set the attack as fast as it can go. We're going to take the ratio down to like 2.5 for now. And it's just barely doing anything as of now. So we're just going to keep putting the threshold back until it's pushing that sample back. Here's without. So what I hear there is without, it's like the frequencies of the hi-hat, snare, and sample kind of add up to be a little bit too harsh, and they just occupy a little bit too much of the range. And with it, the sample ducks down when the snare and the hi-hat come in and makes a lot more room for it. Check these transitions. So yep, that's cool. So I'm going to fast forward through this, and we're going to check the transition into the last part. Cool. Got 3 parts. Check the transition going back into the first part. Cool. Like that. So one other thing I'm going to do is take this part 2, and we're going to duplicate it, and we're just going to lose the drums on that sequence so that we just have the sample. That was pretty much all I did, and I thought it turned out pretty cool, so I'm going to play you the layout. Hopefully you guys dig it. Let me know.